Hello and welcome to BierTier, the German engineer. Today we're back with a brand new game to the channel, and that game is InfraSpace. In InfraSpace, we are on a foreign planet. We're trying to build a city as efficient as we can while exploiting the natural resources around us. So that is certainly a game that is right down my alley. So let's take a look what happens when we press new game. Game difficulty controls how many product citizens need. The higher the difficulty, the better you have to manage your economy. Medium. That sounds reasonable. Transport difficulty controls how many items vehicles can carry. The higher the difficulty, the fewer items can be carried at once. Also medium. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I would say let's jump right into that and see how that works out for us. And here we are. Okay, so let's take a look around what we got. Here we have sulfur, iron, copper ore, more iron, iridium, aluminum. We have all sorts of stuff laying around here. So what is our first mission? Build a road next to sulfur and iron. Sulfur and iron. We have sulfur and iron basically everywhere. So really not that big a deal. I think, let's see, what is a good starting point? These two nodes here are very close to each other. Yeah, I think right here. Right here is where we're going to start. We're going to grab a gravel road and we're just going to build it right over here. Let's say 12 long maybe. I have no idea. Just a general idea of how to start the game. 12 long, just like that. Perfect. So now I think we need to build a sulfur mine. Yeah, that's what it says. So if I just build a road that is curved kind of around here, something like this here. Now we have a nice roundabout around the sulfur. That should be perfect. Now we just gotta come out to our main road here, right? Something like this here maybe. Yeah, let's do that. And then let's grab our sulfur mine and we're just gonna plop it right there. Next we need a sand mine. I think I'm gonna produce the sulfur and the sand on the same road. We're just gonna slap this one here on the outside, just like that. And then we need a concrete factory that we then going to put just right here. How about that? Now we need to supply all of that with power. For that we need a wind turbine. Let's put that one maybe right here. And while we're ready, we might build a second one. Let me build it a little bit further away. Let's see, something like this here. Yep, that's it. Trying to use up as little space as possible of our area here. Perfect. And now if you play the game, we should already see something happening. Yes, look at that. We are now mining sulfur and sand. And our trucks are coming out of the respective mines and moving it all over here into our concrete factory, which then should hopefully produce some concrete. Oh, that looks pretty good to me. What do we need next? It says here, storing the concrete, build a construction material storage. Okay, might as well do that. We could just build it over here. Maybe right there. So now the trucks have to come down here, make a right-hand turn, and come onto here. Right-hand turn is always good. I think that's a pretty good start for what we have in mind. And over here, then we have iron ore, which is going to be good for later. Next on our list is life support. Build a basic habitat. So yeah, sure, why don't we do that? We can just do that somewhere over here maybe. Basic habitat is right here. Wonderful. And we're just gonna plop it right there. Build the atmospheric processor. That's a good idea. But before I do that, I think I want to build a road right here. And I come out with it maybe 4 concrete long for now. Yeah, that should be okay. And then just right there in the middle, I'm gonna come with another road over here, another 4 concrete long. On this side here, I want to have my habitat. On this side here, I want to have my atmosphere processor. I'm gonna put it right there. Wonderful. And then it wants us to build a spaceport. But for a spaceport, I think we need something like this here. Let's build a few more of those just so we have them. And then I'm gonna build a road maybe from right here straight over, maybe 2.5 concrete long. And then we can build our spaceport right there. That looks good to me. And before we do anything else, I want to build a couple more basic habitats. Just like we did with our atmosphere processes, just so we get a setup ready to roll. And then right here on this side of this building, we also gonna come with a straight road back all the way, just like that. And then we can build a few more basic habitats, as soon as we get the concrete at least. Over here in the top left, we have the production overview. That production overview shows us that we are producing 5 sand, but we need 6.3 to actually satisfy our 1 concrete factory. So I think we're gonna immediately make our production over here a little bit more efficient. Let's put in a couple more of those, and also 1 more sulfur mine at least. And then we're gonna build us 1 more concrete factory as well. Just so we are getting in more concrete faster, so we can build more habitats and other things. So it looks like concrete is pretty important in this game. So let's make sure that we have that production going for us. Also, I just realized that apparently all these buildings you need power, which well, kind of makes sense. Not sure why I haven't seen that coming. So yeah, let's make sure that we are building some power over here as soon as our concrete factory here picks up the pace a little bit. Right, so I extended our power grid a little bit, built another concrete factory and a couple of sand mines as well as sulfur mines, just to make sure we have a steady production of concrete going on. And we have now the first people moving in. We have 1 person in each one of our basic habitats right here. But I'm going to take this one here and I'm going to move it. So the entrance is actually here, not on the main road. And then let's build a bunch more of those habitats. And this is now what that should looks like. We have now plenty of houses just in a dual row. Pretty simple and straightforward. We have now housing for 180 people. That should be plenty. And next on the list, it wants us to build a research lab. And the research lab apparently requires blue science packs from a blue science pack factory, which requires 2 iron and 1 carbon. Let's see, where are we going to get our iron from? That's the first thing we need to figure out, so we can figure out where exactly we are going to build our research lab. It looks like here is where our iron comes from. So let's start with building a road around it so we can actually then utilize it. Something like this here doesn't have to be super beautiful. I could turn on the curved road though, to make it a little bit nicer at least. Like this here, they're just coming through the sulfur right there. Just like that. And we can then just connect onto this road. That should be quite perfect, so we can get our carbon from this side, our iron from this side. Yeah, that's gonna be good. And I'm just gonna build the research lab somewhere over here potentially. Yeah, that should work. And 1 blue science pack factory. We're just gonna build it right beside it, maybe something like this here. And now we need to get iron. There's our iron mine right here. We can just plop 1, 2, 3 into here, maybe something like that. Should be great. And now we need, of course, to power that whole thing. That is very important. I'm just gonna put it right here. How about that? Put a power pole down. Make sure that we actually power all this stuff. And then let's come along with our power pole on this side here. And let's make sure we're also powering these buildings right here. And now we should start producing blue science packs, which then should be able to research farming for us. Let's see how that works out. Are we gonna get some iron in? Yes, we are. And from this direction here, we hopefully get some carbon that moves over as well. But the carbon was already delivered. We already have 30 carbon in our storage. So now when we have the science, a blue truck comes out and it goes in and it provides us with 20% of our research. That's pretty good. It's a pretty straightforward system of how to accomplish research. I actually like it quite a lot, not gonna lie about it. And the research is complete. We have now unlocked farming and can now build the simple farm. So why don't we do that? Simple farm right here. I think it makes perfect sense to build those simple farms right here where we have also the other production and our habitats. I don't think anybody else is using any food in this game. Let's build another road right beside each other, another 4 long. And let's see, where is our basic farm? Right here. And gonna put it down another one. And just gonna make sure that the outlets of those farms are actually on the side and not on the main road. Just like that. That looks pretty decent. I like it. Oh, look at this. Apparently we can change the roads, how they move. I can just come here and tell it you're not allowed to go back there. And now you're not. Quite interesting. So of course they are allowed to go there. We do not want to disallow that, or they will not get any food. So that's going to be quite interesting later on. It has directly a mechanic built in to make our roads more efficient. I will never complain about that, that is for sure. And currently we are waiting to satisfy the needs of our habitats until they upgrade automatically. And that should then fulfill the current mission. Let's see when that happens. Oh, right now, look at this. Ah, you finished the tutorial, congrats, you're now ready to make your city great. This one here is now a decent habitat. Oh, and look at this here. This one here is actually 0-1 written on it, and this one is actually 0-2 written on it. Just so we know what level our habitats are. That's actually really cool. Let's take a look at another research. Electronics. Copper mine and electronics factory will be unlocked. Where do we have any copper laying around that we can exploit? Let's see. Over here we have a bunch of copper, and back there we have a bunch of copper. And I think I like this vein over here a lot more. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come all the way on the back here. Let's build a road out of here. Make sure it's a curved road. It is good. We're gonna build around here, come to there, all the way over, and over to here. And then it should now encapsulate our copper ore, which is gonna be good. We can create some electronics along this road here, and then just distribute them over here however we feel like. We should probably change this one here though. Let's see. I don't want you to be like there. Yeah, I think this time we actually have to delete it and build a fresh connection that comes over to here, because we don't ever want to go back here. We always have to come around here. Let's see if we can move this one here also a little bit nicer. Yep, something like this here. And then we can come along here and complete more research over there. That is going to be great for sure. Let's try that out. Let's make some electronics. We grab our copper mine, and we should be able to plop it down all around here. Almost. I built the road a little bit too far away from the copper. So let's move it in just a tiny little bit. This whole built-in move it mod basically from City Skylines here is really good. I'm really happy about this mechanic, not gonna lie. So let's build, I don't know, 4 of those maybe. Should be sufficient, I would think. Build another wind turbine up here in the corner. Make sure we power those here. And while we're at it, we might as well make sure that we power the whole entire place here. And we can plop in a couple more wind turbines. Maybe one right here. And another one right there. And let's connect all of these together. Something like this here. Make it one big power grid. We are now producing 140 megawatts. And we are only requiring 53 megawatts to run everything we have. That is awesome. And for the electronics factory, oh, we actually need iron too. Is this iron up here? No, that's aluminum. Is there iron around here somewhere close by? Not really. The only place is over here. So I think the smartest thing would be to build our electronics factories along here, since we have access to both things on both sides. So let's see, our trucks are coming down here. There's really no optimal way to build it. I think I'm gonna just plop 2 of those down right there maybe. Not sure how much they produce, but I guess we're about to find out. So let's come out to the power pole and make sure that we are powering this whole area here up. Kind of like that, yeah. That should be sufficient. And now the trucks are already swarming out and filling up our electronics factories with iron ore. And they're just moving in. I think they can hold 30 if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. It delivered 28. Nope. 30. Yep, it holds now 30. And from the other direction comes our copper. Don't we have anywhere iron closer to it? I mean, the best case scenario would have been to build back here, and we may do that later. We may just get rid of this area right here and put our whole production over here, closer to the iron and copper, something like that. But for now, this should be sufficient. It will take a little bit to get it running, but once it is up and running, it should be pretty straightforward and it should keep running pretty efficiently. So now we're making electronics, and we can start another research. Electronics, I think we mainly need for green science and home appliances. So that's going to be good. But we also need to research steel production, so we don't run out of steel, because more advanced stuff apparently needs steel. Let's see here, for example. Yeah, the blue science pack factory only needs 10 concrete. The green one, on the other hand, needs 20 concrete and 35 steel. So we need to make sure that we have that. And I think I'm just gonna put some steel factories over to go to here maybe. Yeah, that's probably easiest. One right here and one right there. And steel is gonna get stored in a construction material storage facility. I'm gonna build one nearby. So these here are global. When I want to get something in there, it is the same in every one, so it basically just magically transports itself around. And let's take a look at our production overview. Now that we have built some buildings that actually produce stuff, are we still producing enough raw materials? Yes, it looks like we are looking really decent. That's great. And we have now actually 214 housing and 211 people. So our city is growing quite nicely. But yeah, I think so far we have done pretty well in the game. We're gonna start researching green science, but we are not gonna dabble with that in this episode. We're gonna save that for the next one. But yeah, so far this year looks like a really great game. I mean, I enjoy quite a lot, especially those tiny little quality of life improvement mechanics like this moving tool here. It's just great. Yeah, it should just be built into every single game. But yeah, other than that, there's not a hell of a lot left to say other than if you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video and comment down below. What do you think about InfraSpace? I would really like to hear from you. And with that, I say thank you and peace.